It's a beautiful night. It's a Friday night in Dallas, and the streets are just crowded. And the studio that we are in, for all of my listening audiences, and Mr. Ira Johnson in Alaska, the studios are in the busiest part of town, where it is just all the excitement goes on in Uptown. So when you come over here, Art, when you come down the next time, we are going to make sure that we get over here to see. This is sort of like your I don't know what area of Houston you have where all the young people come and migrate, and they all have fast cars. They all have fast cars. But
yeah, we have that. They've renamed downtown to Midtown now.
Ooh.
So, our third ward, fourth ward, fifth ward, and so forth.
Yeah.
Are being invaded now.
No.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
And they're being invaded. They have rundown houses, so they're taking them away and building
high rises.
The condo type houses. Yeah. Well, they're building high rises, but in the neighborhood kind of places, they're actually building houses.
They're building
like
houses.
3 stories.
Yeah.
Within 3 feet of each other, that kind of thing, and sometimes they're connected.
Ooh, and sometimes they're connected.
So that's
well.
Sometimes it's just a whole block with just a door and 2 to 3 stories of a house.
Okay, so is that sort of like condos and mixed developments is what they're called? What is the terminology here in Dallas? Mm-hmm. There are so many mixed developments where because they really want us out of these cars. They want us out of our cars.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the kind of thing that's starting to happen now. Is and boy, they're building their apartments. They're building those apartment complexes like it's homes.
Yes, they are.
They're building them all over the place, and I look at that and I kind of smile because what are they doing with major major stores now?
Major stores, but come on, all right, the malls are dead. Malls are going away. We have outlived our fascination with the mall. The mall is dead. So the way of the country today, no, we don't go to malls. In fact, they're shutting the malls down. And they're making them into mixed-use developments.
Making them into developments.
Yeah, mixed-use developments.
Now, given the kind of choice you have, and that's what we've been at for the last 15 to 18 years.
That's true. Hey, that's right. Call in and talk to us tonight.
It's the 21st century.
It is. Call in and talk to us tonight. I'm out of the car. I have come into the studio. This is Esther Davis talking to Arthur Fuller, my favorite mastermind in the world. And you can call us at 657-383-0437. Let us know what happened in your town, in your city, during the election. We want to hear from you. And Mr. Ira Johnson, as soon as I can, I hope you are Ira lady, as soon as I want you to say hello to...
Ira Johnson.
Yeah, he's in Alaska.
Ira Johnson sounds... Yeah, but that it sounds like a name. It sounds like I know a name like that.
Is he in Alaska?
This is my part of my kinfolk.
because we're worldwide and we're on Facebook Live for those of you that are watching us on Facebook Live. I now have this fascinating story to tell you about what happened tonight with the traffic and the wreck. And Michael, oh my gosh, Michael Anthony, I have a new name for you. We're going to call it the genius. We have another person that just logged on with us right now. Is that Aretha? Miss Aretha.
Let's only call their first name because they may not want their names.
Okay, may not want all their name called. She has joined us also. And once we get you online, Art, with Facebook, you'll see these people coming on. Now, the question I have for Michael is, can we both respond to him at the same time?
If they on Facebook Live, they can only type in the comments, and you can respond to the comments.
Okay.
You can read their comments live on the air and say somebody is responding.
There's another person.
Yep. This is another one of my
Betty
friends.
DeBose.
Don't read their names.
Oh, I got it.
Because they may not want their names
Just
read.
Betty.
Yeah, just Betty.
Okay, you hear that, Art? So we can't call all of their names.
We're the only ones that can see this.
That's great.
Everybody else can't see that.
All right.
Oh, well.
Well,
Just,
But-
welcome to you all.
that's right. Welcome to all of us. Well,
And the topic tonight is
The topic tonight.
how much did this election process cost us?
Whoa.
How much did the election process
Process.
cost us?
From what period of time to what period of time? From what this?
Well, I don't know. The whole thing went on for years, but I mean, you could think about about 3 months, right?
3 months. Let's say 3 months. So you're talking about all of the elections. Go ahead.
Yeah, this election. What they talk about here in Texas, just the two people running in the Senate thing was over 150 million, right?
Yeah. 150.
That was just that.
Okay.
Now you got to add the volunteers, right?
Yeah, you got to add the volunteers.
Didn't get paid, did they?
No, some of the staff people got paid, but most of it was. And then the commercials. Don't think the commercials, the television, radio.
Who could afford commercials?
Yes.
The business community was the only one that could afford commercials.
That's true. The corporations and the lobbyists were the only ones that could afford it.
Corporations.
All right. Now, I did read. Let me tell you this.
Where did that money come from?
Let me tell you this, Art.
Where did that money come from?
Hold on. Let me tell you this. Today, I read somewhere in the paper where the United States, we the people, are paying almost $2,000 a minute for the presidency. With the travel, his budget, there is no budget. He just goes. But when you... But that $2,000, it was more like $2,100 a minute. We can't even add that up. That comes into the seven figures. That's just one huge number. Then you add in the elections. The cost of the Texas elections by state.
Every time Congress takes on a task, we as a people should demand that they report the financial. That's what I have to do for tax purposes, don't I?
Yes, exactly. That's what you and I both have to do.
Right. They should be required to report to the public how much it costs to have that mess over.
Wow.
I don't know.
Yes. Well, the Supreme Court justice.
Right down to the dollar.
Yes. You're absolutely right. Yes.
Shouldn't they tell us?
And I know what they will say.
That's why this thing changed me. I have these crazy thoughts that come every night.
No, you have thoughts that the rest of America has. You're just bold enough to say something about it.
No.
You're bold enough to say.
They should start right then, just like I did when I was running the project to develop, the internet or whatever. Right? I had to report exactly how much it cost. Every contract I got, I had to say how much money was in it.
Right? Right.
So I'd like to see our government on the same kind of thing, and that's where what you talking about, $2,100 a minute.
$2,100 a minute. Well, let's do this. Let's ask the people. Hold on a second. Let's ask the people to call in. Call in and let me know how much you think the election process cost. And along with what Arthur Fuller is saying, how much did it cost us, and why can't we get a report of it in the newspaper, online? But we need to know how much these things are costing. because the president and the Congress people have no problem telling us how much the Immigration Act is costing and how much this is costing. So how much are you spending?
And how much those people coming in from the other place is going to cost us. You know what I thought about? Have you ever thought about it? Do you know that we throw away enough to actually have those people settle where they are and take care of them if we were in that kind of mode, and you would not have to think about this?
You know what I think? I think the earth is the lowest and the fullest there are. I think this world belongs to a higher power. Mm-hmm. I think that we have always taken care of people. That's one of the reasons we are so blessed. We have to understand why we're such a blessed nation, or why we call ourselves the #1 nation in the world. And we really are the greatest country in the world. But it's because we take care of people. We took care of people after World War I. We took care of people after World War II. We have always been that country that had democracy. We had the ability to welcome people into our country. And what's wrong with educating them? I mean, let's stop it. If we, one time there was $40 billion going overseas. $40 billion going in foreign aid every year. Well, why can't we take a portion of that and take care of these people? They are not hoodlums. They are not robbers. They are not rapists. They're just people wanting a better life. Call us and let us know what you're thinking about tonight.
And that could have been done in a lot of places. I remember that I dreamed up this idea that if we had a collection system and loaded up airplanes, we could take the food after 12 o'clock at night that gets thrown in the trash and actually feed the whole country.
And I
even tried to work it out in my mind about how to do that, that the trucks would stop at every one of the fast food stores or whatever.
Sure.
They'd have the airplanes would be lined up out at the airport.
Right.
And within 12 to 14 hours or whatever, they'd be landing in, I don't know, Guatemala or some place like that at 15 different airports and 15 other countries.
We can do that if we want to.
With food that gets thrown into the trash.
Yes. We can do that if we want to. I have no problems with other people coming into this country. And I know that's a very controversial, but I don't care. This country has been blessed for a reason. Mm-hmm. And we have to recognize.
We have the capacity.
Oh, absolutely.
We have the capacity. With that same kind of movement, we could take care of them.
We could. So I want to hear from you out there. I want to hear from the audiences. The real Michael Anthony Johnson. Go up and come on Facebook and join us. Facebook.com/The Real Michael Anthony Johnson. I'm Esther Davis on the phone on Friday nights with Arthur Fuller, because he has all of these crazy ideas, quote unquote, and he shares them with us. But how much did the election process cost we, the American people? And are our taxes going to go up? Is gas going to go up during the holidays? They're talking about the gas. We might get a break on the gas, but how much of a break are we going to get? So that's what we're talking about tonight. 657-383-0437. We want to hear from you, the American people. And Art, when did you vote? Let's start there. Did you vote early?
Yeah. I voted about a month ago.
Okay.
3 or 4 weeks ago.
You voted early voting. I voted the first day of voting.
No. You see, I faked them out with my age, so I get them.
What do you mean you faked them out with your age? How old? Well, you never say how old you are. How old are you?
I think y'all supposed to be what? I think if y'all are over 65 or something like that.
You ought to get the privileges to vote. Maybe vote on.
No, you get that. When you reach that, they'll send you a mail vote.
Yeah, I know. They send you a mail vote, but
I've been getting it for a long.
So you mailed in your ballot. You mailed in your ballot.
How safe
right.
is
They
that?
mailed the ballot to me.
That's safe.
I filled it out and mailed it back.
How safe is that? How safe is that? Now, a little while ago, you did not trust the machines because you wanted to itemize your vote. You didn't vote a straight ticket. But I'm just wondering, just throw it out to the audiences tonight, how safe are the ballots? You don't have an idea about that? I find that very surprising.
No, as safe as the integrity of the people who count.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's about right. Our number here is 657-383-0437. Join the conversation with Esther in Dallas and Art in Houston, Texas. And if you're around the country, let us know where you are, where you're logging in from, so we can get this conversation started. Now, the other thing that we were talking about while I was sitting in my car in traffic. Can we go back to that conversation for a minute?
Yeah.
Just revisit that a little while about immigration.
What was it?
It was on immigration. It was on immigration. Because now I think we have this great country because our children, the classrooms have changed. The classrooms have definitely changed. If I go into a 3rd grade classroom, the kids they're just kids. All you know is that they're kids. They're not black kids, they're not white kids, they are just kids. And I like that. Now, a lot of people don't like it because we think another race is superior to certain races and some races are substandard. But immigration is what has made this country great. What do you have to say about that, Arthur Fuller?
I'm advertising.
Where you are in terms of status.
Free advertising.
Well, status.
Okay?
Okay.
The people in the high status don't think quite that way.
No, they don't.
Remember where our system came from.
Came from England.
We still
Okay.
got an example of it running right now, don't they?
Yes, we do. We have a divide. Let's put it that way.
$150 million for a wedding.
For a wedding? Who had a $150 million wedding? Wow.
Somebody in the British hierarchy is getting married, and they're talking $150 million for the wedding.
Wow. That wasn't a member of the royal family, was it? Was that a member of the royal family? No, it was another billionaire somewhere.
Somewhere in the royalty.
Okay. Those are the kind of.
But look at see what some people done. But I'll give you mine and tell you about it. We call this the American Free Enterprise System.
Right.
But who's free? Only business owners are free.
Yes. And that's what I love. That's what I love about you. You keep that on our minds.
Right. Yeah, they're not loaners now. Owners.
Right.
Those are the only ones that are free.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, who else is free? The government is free.
Well, the government has a open checkbook.
All of that comes. No, but the government, all of that income from what?
Yes, it comes from
the form of taxes or whatever.
Exactly.
It comes from the same place where the business people are. Okay? Now, what does that make everybody else? Subtract 200 years. 250 years.
Subtract 250 years.
Plantation owner.
Right.
Plantation manager. And what?
And the product that's on the... But the other important thing, too, that I thought you were going to say about that, fast forwarding to today, why don't we own more businesses? Why don't we see the picture that you talk about? Small businesses, there's nothing, number one, there's nothing small about a small business. There's nothing small about a small business.
No, but we're not taught ownership.
We're
not taught ownership. We're taught loanership.
Mm-hmm. Every time you say that, I have to get a check.
Business in this country is loanership, not ownership. You probably couldn't find me a business that's out of debt.
Yeah, no, you could not.
Find me one.
But how do we get people to see that picture?
When you're in debt, you don't own. I've thought about adding a new word to the English language, LOWN.
LOWN.
Right?
Yes.
Because that's what that is, LOWN. The reason why most people are frightened away from business is what? how much it costs, which they can't get to.
Why can't we have a
We're
class?
talking about ownership.
I know, but why can't we have a class in school? Why can't we have? And I have been asked this question before when I was director of community affairs for PATS.
Because you might accidentally move into the
accidentally.
you're gonna become part of the family.
Accidentally. Great conversation we have going on here with the Esther Davis Show. This is 657. You got to call in 657-383-0437. Call in and talk to us. The hot topic tonight is how much did the election cost the American people? That's number one. And number two, we're talking about immigration. I want to hear what your comments are, whatever they are. I can take it because I think the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. There are ways to take care of people on earth. Now, if you want to move to Mars, go to Mars when they...
Every person on earth
Yes.
could be taken care of.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Every person could be taken care of.
Well, right now we have troops. Right now we have troops sitting down on the border. We know that the caravan, and I don't like that word, that caravan is going to be here maybe in 4 to 6 weeks. Yes. It is ridiculous.
Yes.
Now, how much is that costing the American people?
Well, yeah, and chances are, what they're talking now, they're saying that Mexico is making provisions for some of those people. We could financially support that and not even think.
And there you go.
Along the line on some other area.
Exactly. And I want to know what you're thinking.
Like the person.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what you're
like
thinking.
The person under the bridge out there, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, right. That's you know, that is not
out on the side of the road.
I heard the other day that we had gotten used to homeless people. I have not gotten used to homeless people. It is just something awful about the greatest country in the world, and we cannot take care of homeless people. I mean, some places, and they run them out of certain areas. We had them under the bridge here under I-45. It was a whole tent city, whole complete city. So let's add one other thing to the subject tonight. And I was late, so I'm going to apologize to everybody. How much did the election process cost us, and why can't we take care of the homeless people in our own country and welcome in and make provisions for the people that want the best education? There's nothing wrong with wanting the best education. I have to cringe sometimes when I hear the word those people are ruining our country. No, we have had immigrants in this country since we built the railroad, and that was in the 1800s.
All are. Right?
Oh, I get so
people
passionate about that.
Definition were immigrants.
Yes, exactly.
Remember what I said earlier? The people who made that definition
were immigrants. Yes.
Were immigrants.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's the point I was trying to make earlier.
So, are you still a deacon at your church down in Brentwood?
I am, and I guess we would call it inactive. We have a deal in at our church is that I think it's 6 years, and then you must take some time off.
You got to be kidding me! This is a Baptist church. That's a whole nother subject right there.
Yeah, no, it's a Baptist church, and I think it's 3 terms. At the end of 3 2-year terms.
2, 4, 6. Okay.
I think it's 6 years. And at the end of that time, you must take at least 1 term off.
Woo!
That way.
That is a hot topic.
I lost the battle to put that into my church in Washington, D.C. 40 years ago. But I did manage to get it in for the treasurer.
Explain that to me.
When I think I was.
You were treasurer of the
tried to implement
deacon board
many years ago. Was that that would be a term limit on in terms of active participants. That way you would elect new people, and my thought process on that is that way you could possibly get people to stay longer.
Yeah.
And the audience would be more filled with people who would have an idea about how the church operated and so forth.
And be more active.
Putting those people out, sitting church by sitting next to somebody and asking them what were they excited about. I went through 4 or 5 churches.
Oh,
I said,
okay.
I said, well, what brought you here, etc. I interviewed people sitting in the seats. Okay, and that's how I got to here, because when people started, answering in ways that I thought was meaningful, that would be the case. But back in that day, Buddy and I got together, and we worked
as a team.
I never got past junior deacon. Yeah, well, actually, I never got past junior deacon. You could be a junior deacon.
Oh, okay.
But that was only when somebody passed away or whatever, then there'd be a slot open every now and then, which meant that in general you never really got that.
We're talking about the Protestant faith of Baptists. In the Baptist faith, we have deacons. In other faiths, they have lay leaders, they have stewards, they call them different things. And Art just taught me something, saying that at his church right now, they have a tenure, they have a term limit, which is something we have not touched on in several months on the Ester Davis shows. Because back to how much did the election process cost us, how much does it cost us to keep the same people in office every year that are not doing anything for the people? They should have term limits, and we don't have that in our system.
They should have term limits.
They should have term
That's
limits.
right. They should have term limits. They might serve a term or 2 terms or something like that, but at that point in time, they should be required to sit out at least a full term before coming back.
Before coming back.
Or if they came back or whatever, and that would actually bring in people in each kind of generation. All you have to do is just look at all of the situations that went on in this election that we're talking about, how much it cost. We went through all of that process and took that much money. Actually, it's all debt because they don't have the money to pay it, right?
No, they don't have the money to pay it.
We just increased the national debt. That whole...
We have definitely increased the national debt.
The national debt.
Yes.
Right? Significantly. All right? But all of what went into it came out of the pockets of the people who worked. Because that's the only source of income.
That's the only source of income for the United States. Call in and talk to us. We've got a lot going on tonight, and Art just opened up a brand new door for us on what is not only how much did the election cost. That was one part. The second part now is term limits in churches, and so we need term limits for our elected officials. And do you think we're making the best use of our talent that we have in this country? Because with so much conspiracies and so much derogatory conversation about, do we think we're getting the best talent, Art? What do you think? Are we getting the best people to run for these offices?
We're getting what the controlling element wants. Okay?
Oh,
So
the controlling element wants.
The controlling element, we're getting what they want because they make sure to keep the system in that place. When you have the thing we talked about with the Congress or whatever, where somebody's been there for 40 years.
Oh, yes.
Huh?
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
They've been there for 40 years. Now, I'll tell people that I'm not going to tell you that I got that much strong religion or whatever, that I wouldn't be sitting there bed, feeling pretty if I had one of them positions. And name me somebody who wouldn't.
No, because that's a luxury lifestyle. They just went back to work today after Congress. Yeah, they went back to work after the election.
These are people whose entire lifestyle is paid for.
Yeah, with great health insurance, I might add. That's been a point of controversy over the last couple of years because their health plan is totally different from yours and mine and the rest of the country, I might add.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, amazing.
All of the things that you talk about are in that element. When you decide that you're gonna go talk to somebody in Colorado, who pays for everything?
Yeah, you get on a plane and you
the trip.
Yes.
Where you're staying, right?
Yes.
What you eat.
The military waiting on you and flying you around at no cost.
Yeah.
How much did the election process cost us? Call in to 657 383 0437. It's a very plush life. And when you get there, they have a staff. People don't realize that they have full staffs in the district office and in the Washington, D office. And we'll go back to our initial question when we open up the show when I got here. How much did the election process cost us? We now know that our president his fee or his cost per minute is $2,100 per minute.
Wow.
Per while. You got to let that soak in a bit. We're on Facebook Live with the real Michael Anthony Johnson and Arthur Fuller. One of the masterminds. I have another person that knows you. Yeah, I'm sorry.
And pass that on to his staff. How much the staff that is operational there.
And they're traveling budgets.
Including the 2,100.
I don't know. I think that's just for his protection and the Air Force One.
Yeah.
And I think that doesn't even include his wife or that's 2,100.
When he's moving around, right?
Yes. Yeah. And a billionaire there. So we could easily take care of the migrant workers that are on the road now coming to this country. Amazing.
Is that really different than a king?
Let's plead. No, it's really not. But he thinks he's a king already, Art. So we don't want to give him any more ideas because we are a democracy. Yep. This is not the United States Corporation. Okay, this is the United States of America. Not the United States Corporation headed by Donald Trump. And we need to separate the two because we're headed toward that dictatorship, but we're not quite there yet. We do have a constitution, and we live in a democracy. And when he's gone, we're going to live in that democracy. Call in and talk to us. And if you think this is a great show, we want to hear what you're thinking. Did you vote anyway? What people did not vote at all? 657-383-0437. All right, I'm going to take a little bit of a break, and stay with us for a minute. We're on Facebook. I still have to stay on Facebook.
No, we can still take a break.
Okay, I got to take a break.
I'll just play some music.
Play some music, and let me run down the hall and get a cup of coffee. But again, I had half of the show in my car, in traffic, on the cell phone. It's a changing, different world. We live in a new place. Woo!
Here we go, everybody. Here's some music for your listening pleasure. As we take a little break, Facebook, you're going to stay live with us here.
With the music?
Yes.
Okay, I'm getting a cup of coffee.
God has a reason for everything. Write down this website, lifemessageacademy.com. It's a 6-minute video that could quite possibly help you make sense of your own crazy life story and what exactly God might have in mind for your future. That's lifemessageacademy.com. And while you're at it, jot down BPEN as the special bonus code. You can enter that code after you watch the video and get some terrific free content to help experience a new transformation in your Christian life. That's lifemessageacademy.com. And the code BPEN.
So while we're taking this break, we got a break happening on Centertainment Radio and also for Blog Talk. Sometimes we got to take a break, but I want to just share with you there's some great things happening here. If you got some comments, go ahead and comment. If you don't want to comment, you want to say something live, you can call us. And if you want us to put you on mute and you want to tell us some things, we can pull you into a conference area on Blog Talk Radio, and you can tell us what you want to say. And we'll say caller 1 wanted to say this. We ask you to keep your comments constructive, positive, and without any curse words, because we won't air those anyways. So just be respectful of the media that we are taking in. There's people that's going to be listening to this forever, and your comment might be legendary. Your comment might spur some questions that need to be answered. If I can do this, let me turn this down just a little bit. Let me turn this down. I'm live on 2 different radio networks, and so that's what you're hearing behind me. But if there's something you want to comment, it could be something that sparks controversy, but it might be something that sparks a solution. So Facebook Live, we have her coming back to the platform in just a few seconds as she grabs There's some
Some green
coffee.
tea.
It's,
I've had
grab some green tea. Green tea.
exciting. Still can't get over taping my show in my car is a momentous adventure for
Yes,
me.
and it sounded just like you were here.
The audio was that good.
It was that good. No, it was not breakup, but we can tell
I didn't
you.
hear it in breakup at all.
We heard you in the elevator, so we heard it was echoing. That's about it, but it was really, really good. So Facebook Live, become a part of what we're doing every Friday. Everybody that's joining us, we're not going to say your names up, but tell us what you think. Write in the comments. How much did the election process cost us? It could be money-wise. It could be country-wise as far as the different type of things that were taken over by different parties. We got a great impact Democrats had as far as the election. What did that cost the Republicans? What did it cost the Democrats? What does it cost us as a nation? So those are comments we're looking for you to chime in on, because this is we, the people, in order to form a more perfect union. We got to start standing up.
We got to at least ask the question.
Exactly. Ask a question.
Yeah.
That's
if
what
you
we
go
need to
out
do.
and buy, if we're married and you go out and buy a Bentley, I need to know how much the car costs.
Exactly. You got to know how much it costs, because
That's
you're
right.
going to. I would rather. I'd rather tell you before that.
I'm contributing.
That's right.
So the same thing with this. How much did the election process cost
Right.
us?
And then we counted the cost. The Bible asks us that. Who sit down and run a race or build a house and they didn't count the cost?
That's right.
And make sure that you can finish that race, or make sure you can finish that build.
And then Art brought up something, the $2,100 for the president. What does that include? Is that his, is that his food? That includes his food and the electrical in the White House. What does that include?
Wow. Well, we saw at the beginning of when he got elected, he was running up the bill.
Oh, he was running up the bill. Yeah.
Going flying all over the place.
But he won the election on the contention that I am a bridge builder. I am a deal maker. You remember that speech?
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, that's what he built his candidacy on. And he gets in there and it's complete. And everybody recognized it. We had people during the election that said they voted Democratic. They're Republicans, but they voted.
And we're coming back live. That song is going off there, and I'm going to put us back live on the other network. And Arthur Fuller, you are live back with us again as well. And I'm going to put us back live here on the Cemetery Radio Show. Somebody saying hallelujah.
Somebody say hallelujah. Somebody say hallelujah.
By the way, that's my friend. I took care of him. He can tell you that I babysitted him when he was a baby. That's Bishop Cortez Vaughn.
Really? He's a singer?
Yeah,
A gospel singer?
Yeah, he sings the song. The name of the song is "You Deserve It."
I love that song. Art, are you with us? Can you hear the song? Hello?
He might put some mute.
He's on. Where's the speaker? Because I can't hear him.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let me turn it.
Okay.
Can you hear us now, Art?
Can you hear the song?
Okay, there you go.
Yes, we can hear you just fine.
I'm going to go ahead and segue that out and bring us back live on the mic.
That was good.
Yes.
We got a few more minutes.
I heard that song.
No, we deserve it.
Song.
We deserve it. And we're back with you live with Arthur Fuller and all of our guests on Facebook Live with Entertainment, the real Michael Anthony Johnson. And I want you to know I'm still excited about being able to host my show in my car in traffic. And the audio was just so great.
It was. It was really good.
Art, I would like to know how many firsts have you had in your lifetime? This had to be a first. Tonight was a first. For sure.
First.
The first time the first time we were on the internet radio and we are driving or in the car, and it's just an amazing time to be alive. It's just awesome, the things that can happen. And it's not coined. It's not like it's a manual for it, because I never would have gotten through a manual if I had to do what we did tonight. I wouldn't have. Michael might have gotten through it.
I'm having that situation on a regular basis with this.
With what?
Technology that's come.
Oh, the technology is awesome.
What the Facebook and whatever all those other different things are that
Instagram.
are out there.
Yeah.
Instagram and you name it. And I need time and I need to learn some more about them. But it is not the kind of thing that one can sort of like pick up on their own. It takes a lot of basic knowledge to understand what happens when you do one thing or the other. That's why I talk about how all we were interested in was stage. We got a recognizable message from one computer to the other.
Right.
And that was now working. So my contract had been in place, and it was top secret. They didn't want anybody else to know, particularly the Russians, because that was the military's communication system. And that was part of when we got to work on it, that was part of the reason why it was actually put together, because they needed to be able to talk between the different government, military agencies without being interpreted. And I thought about something else. This is all on a different thing, but and I don't know how far that goes, but I literally managed the design of the creation of a Russian warship.
Of a Russian warship.
Yeah, they started the construction on a massive warship, and that was what were those planes called? U-2s? Wasn't that what it was?
I don't know. What year was that? Was this the 69 or are we into the 70s now?
Yeah, we're into like probably the 70s. But they had the aircraft that could fly so high that nobody could touch.
They sure did.
And
B-2 bombers.
B-2 bomber.
B-2 bomber. You talking about?
No, U-2.
U-2. It could be. I'm just probably out of the loop on that.
It was the first of the real high-speed, high-flying aircraft, and the military had a few of them. They flew around for a while until technology.
Somebody knows what you're talking about. Comment it on Facebook so we know what it is.
That they couldn't be attacked.
Oh my God!
Somebody know what it is. Somebody on Facebook let us know what that
and
is.
When they started to develop that ship, it was a great big one, so big that they had to do it outside.
Well, somebody call us and let us know. Call us 657-383-0437 and tell us what we're talking about. I can say hello now to Linda and Alice, David and Christopher that have joined us on Facebook. I know somebody out there knows what we're talking about.
And if you call in to listen, that's fine, but you want to tune in on Facebook Live or you want to tune in on centertainmentradio.fm, and we'll put you back in the queue.
Okay. But he can send me a message on Facebook.
They can send a message. And if you're listening to us right now, you can...
10 seconds.
You got 10 seconds. We can email somebody.
People can't get you on the Facebook, they call you. Darnell, don't go away. Join us next week. And what we're going to do is get your question. Art will be back next week because he's with us on Friday evenings. I don't know if the traffic doesn't get any better. I'll move it up just a little bit. Wow. But we had a great show. This has been a great, awesome event for me tonight to be able to host the show in my car, half of it, and then move into the studio to do so.
Right. It's beautiful.
It's a beautiful world. It's a great, big, beautiful world. We still want to hear from you. Artful and I want to hear from you. How much did the election process cost us? And we're talking about businesses in America, so you don't have to pay all of those taxes.
And also, let me see if I can do something real quick. I'm gonna bring him on live, and we can talk to him on. Okay, we are now in our conference area, and can you hear me, Donnell? You probably have your phone on mute. You're not live out on the radio. We're just we're on the in Art. You're here in the conference area with us. Nobody can hear us live. I'm gonna put a song on.
Okay, so Art is gone?
No, Art's here. Art, can you hear us?
I'm here, yes.
Oh, okay, great.
And also, now whoever called in the 404, I thought that might have been Donnell Ballard Jr., but if not, we're about to log off of Blog Talk Radio, so I'm just letting you know you're not live on the radio. And if you want to hear the rest of this conversation, tune in to centertainmentradio.fm.
He said, I am tuned in now.
Yep. Well, we're about to tune everybody out, so we're going back to Art. What we have to do with you, let me see what we can do. We're going to have to call you.
I have to say
we have to
goodbye.
call him directly. What's his direct number? And we'll talk to him directly. 713, and I'm not going to say this out loud.
See, that part I'm never going to get.
It's just thinking of different meters. Now, Art, we're going to hang up the show right now. We're going to call you back live, okay? So, all right. Okay, bye-bye.
Sounds good. All right.
Okay, we're now off of
And I'm calling
Blog Talk Radio. No, we'll call him on here. We'll call him on this phone so it can keep consistency.
713.
Wait a second. Let me hang up there. Okay, 713
478
478.
8871.
Okay, there we go. All right, so we're still live on Cinematonic Radio and also Facebook Live. And Donnell, we couldn't hear you, so if that was you calling in, we do apologize. But you can call in to the station if you would like. Just let me know. Just Art's right there, and we're still live.
Okay, we wanted to hear from Darnell because he was going to answer that
Put you
question.
back on the camera. I'm sorry for writing on your deal.
Oh, no, that's okay. He was going to answer that question we had about the bomber that you were working on, the Russian ship, the largest ship of that day.
What happened is that, that was, they call it the Cold War, but they started to build a massive warship.
I'm going to have to call my cell phone.
So big it had to be done outside.
Mm-hmm.
So what they used, they put a U-2 aircraft, and it would fly over on a regular basis and make photographs as they added stuff to it, so that we could actually design the ship and determine what it would be used for. And the most interesting part of that is because of where it was being done, and it was so big, we could tell what tracks it would go along, because there were other places that were too narrow or too shallow.
Uh-huh.
Okay? So the military wanted to know what the ship would look like. And that was my full responsibility. Nobody could look at it or whatever. And I developed a computer program that designed the ship along the time that they were building it. And by the time they built it, we knew that there was only one passage out of where it was that it go. We wanted to know what country it was going to go in, what waters it was going to flow in, and so forth.
And that was before radar and drones, right?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that is, now you know what, you're making a great connection for us, because now we can understand about the era that we're living in right now. It didn't just pop up. I mean, it was understudied, it was under it. In the Navy, 1969, 1970.
Most people don't know what we see as technology now generally was paid for by the government. And,
by we the people?
Yeah, it was by government, because companies were not willing to invest that kind of money.
Ah, that's right. That's right. And that was after the war. Well, that was after the Korean War, basically, wasn't it?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
For all of you that are still joining us, David has joined us. Linda, I mentioned Linda earlier. Albert, and we have so many people getting on board because they want to know how much did the election process cost us. We will bring this up again next week. By that time, we should have everything cleared up in Georgia and Florida, because they're still counting votes down in Florida. All right.
I'm excited about that.
I am excited about it. Tommy has joined us.
Fallon.
That was wrong. What they did there. There's no way that dude should be the head of the
Secretary of State in that state.
There's no way in the world. There is no way.
Tammy says we are the people. Tammy, we don't say her last name, but Tammy says we are the people.
We're reading the Facebook messages are still coming in. People are logged on now. They're getting wound up.
You guys said it at the beginning. We're the people. We make this nation what it is.
Yes,
and sometimes we sit down and don't say anything.
That's right.
We let it run by itself on autopilot, and it's not going to fix anything.
No.
So that's a good statement.
And thank you, Tammy. We are the people.
That should have been an overall outcry on that idea, and had it been in some form of control or something.
Right.
And I think something would have happened. But there's no way that you should be the head of the election process.
And a candidate at the same time.
No.
That's a good case of the fox in the hen house for sure.
If it was outside of, if it was not in line with the process that they wanted to go on, there's no way that they would allow that to happen.
No. We are going to log off. We've gone overtime, but we've had an exciting time tonight. for all the people that are still logging on, you can join us again next
Donnell
week.
said I used to watch her on TV.
Oh, Donnell says I used to watch her on television.
How about you?
Oh my goodness! Yeah, well, I'm still on television. We just moved it to the rest of the world.
Yeah, that's right.
Donnell, we are in 13 countries.
We're in actually 15.
15 countries. Oh
Yep.
my gosh, 15 countries. I used to close my shows by saying you're the greatest audience in the world, but I'm changing that a little bit now because we already have audiences across the world, and that's why people like Art Fuller and some of my mastermind people are so important to our history. Important to our history. Thank you, Art. I will see you next time.
But you just got 15 people just logged on. You
I
should
know.
go to log on.
Friday night, so they're
Yes.
getting home.
So we're going to continue this. You said next
Let's
week.
continue it next week, and I want to hear. They can still send a message, can't they?
Yeah, they can still
How
send a
much
message.
did the process cost? I mean, ask that question to your friends this week and
And
say,
answer, put it in the comments,
Yeah, put
so
it-
we can
that's
talk
right.
about it next week. Put it
Yes,
in the
put it in
comments on
comments.
this link that you're
There you
logging
go.
in on.
There
Can
you
I
go.
just come around to them?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes,
This
yes.
is the Esther Davis Show,
yes, and this is Michael the genius that tells me what to do.
and we want you to chime in because how much did this election process cost us? Next week we want to talk about it based on some of the comments we hear from you. We just ask you to be constructive and be positive because we are the people. Tammy said it, and that's what's in our prayer.
Thank you, Tammy.
Thank you, Tammy, for chiming in on that.
Chiming in on
We're the
that.
people in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice,
Yeah.
secure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense. That's us.
That's because you had U.S. history.
Yes, that's
You know,
right.
they don't teach that in schools.
Is that right?
I think they sort of took it out of school.
Promote the general welfare and secure the. I can go all the way. No, you know how I got to learn that?
Oh.
It was something on Saturday morning. It was a cartoon, and they taught us that. And they taught us that thing to the Bill of
cartoon.
Rights. It's a cartoon. It was a song. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union.
Oh, you remember the
Yes, I
jingle
remember
and
that.
everything.
Yes. And so we got to know, not only remember the jingle, remember that as a theme in our hearts. That's who we are as the United States of America. We are here to establish something, and I want to support you in your show and doing that. And Art
Thank you.
Fuller, thank you for being gracious enough to join.
The history is so important.
Esther Davis.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
it is.
history and the making of the history and going forward is really important because otherwise we're going to be so backwards.
Yes.
Because you got to know where you've been in order to know where you are going.
See, this is wisdom right here. Take this.
That's-
Our millennials, listen. Don't
you got-
think that you're going to recreate the wheel,
no,
right?
no, there's no reason to create the reel.
Right.
It's because it's already been done.
Right.
So if you just listen to some of the things, it actually will enlighten you,
Mm-hmm.
and you will have a better mindset of where this is going, because it's all this traction back here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the important thing.
What would you say to our millennials before we take off?
Millennials.
Millennials that want
I
to be
think
in politics.
I think want to be in politics. Please get involved
Mhm.
because you did get involved in politics. You have to vote. But now that we don't have we have a major election coming up in 2020.
Mhm.
Find out how this country runs. What makes America run?
This is
What
beautiful.
makes America great?
This is
America has always been great. America has always been very blessed. But what race is coming up next? So don't come and ask me about a city council problem that is a federal situation. Who is your
Wow.
federal representative?
Mhm.
Because you have representatives on all of the levels.
Mhm.
Know what you're talking about. Keep up with the ordinances, but get involved. This is the brightest group we have. This
That's
is
right.
the most outstanding. The millennials,
Mhm.
you guys have everything.
Everything. You got this
Everything.
technology we're starting to use. You guys are probably about light years ahead of what
You
even
were
I
doing it
did.
at 3 years old.
Yeah, at 3 years
At
old.
3 years old, they were holding computers, and yeah.
Yes.
So, going forward, just do some simple stuff. Find out what happened to get us to this point.
That's it.
I
That's it.
think everybody that drives need to know how to put in all of the liquids in their car.
That's right.
You need to know how to change a tire on that great, that $40,000 vehicle you have. You don't need
Right.
to take it to the shop all the time because you're going to be taken for granted.
Right.
So, in the history of cars, everything that you use,
Mhm.
we may have to use them again, but you need to know where it has been before you know where you are going.
Going. And that one thing I told them at the beginning when you're on your way here,
Yeah.
I said, we've got to get educated on the process. Get educated with the candidates.
Mhm.
Know what they stand for because they may not stand. You might be voting for somebody that's totally against what you believe in.
That's right.
So I went and Googled and found all the names. You can Google, find the names, and find what they would stand for, and they will detail they will detail what every candidate stands for. So when you go there, you're not just guessing. Well, I don't know, but his name sounds good.
And when they don't do what you ask them to do,
Right.
you form a coalition. The people on your street, the people at work, and say, I need you to vote against this stuff.
Right.
Because this is a country where you do things in concert.
That's right.
You don't do anything alone. If you try to fight a battle by yourself, you're going to lose it.
That's right. Form a coalition.
Yeah, they form a coalition.
Neighborhood, community.
Schools, friends, bowling friends, the clubs, wherever.
And then Tammy said it again. We are the people.
We are the
That's how
people.
you
And you
vote.
come into a concert and say, we want this to happen. We want better streets. We want the potholes removed. That's
That's
a city issue.
That's right.
Go into a county, you have the state highways, the da-da-da-da-da's. Find out how this country operates. It's magnificent when you know what you're talking
Donna
about.
said we got the
Donnell.
mayor race
Yes,
in
Donnell.
2019.
In fact, it's going to start, Donnell, it's going to start right now because I don't know when the candidates have to sign up. But I am going to make it my business, since I have an audience and people will listen to me, to talk about these elections because this is a city, the city election. Now, they do have term limits.
Right.
Okay, so Mike Rollins' term is up. We will have a new mayor in May of 2019.
Wow. Hear that, Dallas?
Okay, that's Dallas. So, and there are going to be probably 15 people that run for that. But which one is going to do what you want for this city?
Right. Now, this is where they educate themselves.
This is where, yes,
coalitions
yes,
you're talking about.
the coalitions, and form task forces and focus groups on the millennials because you're going to have to live with all this construction.
Yep.
All this construction we have going on right now, this infrastructure that needs to be done, you're going to have to pay for that.
That's right.
Because you've got a retired, and we got the baby boomers. We're done. We're not going to pay taxes.
Wow.
It's going to be the millennials. So you need to know what you are paying for and who is going to be there to represent you and get involved. If you're not going to run for office, this is the next best thing. Get on one of the boards, the commissions. Be a part of the decision-making process.
Right. Well, I'm saying this live on Facebook and live on the show. I'm getting involved in the process because I'm dealing with something with mental health. I went to a system that was broken, and when I got there, the system was broken. But I wrote in on my phone and told them what happened, and they called me immediately. They said, we want you to be on our board. But that's something to me that God is saying, Michael, get involved. Stop being hands off. Stop talking about it and be about it and do things.
1 in 4 people have a mental illness situation. 1 in 4.
Wow.
So there are 4 of us standing in this room.
Right.
One of us have a quirk in the system.
Right.
But we are so advanced in medicine. See, that's the other thing that's so important. All of these ifs and myths and slogans that we live with are obsolete. They're archaic. They don't exist any longer because now we've got a computer system that does this and it does that and it does this. Every person can afford to have a lifestyle.
Right. That's right.
They really can.
They can.
That's what the universal health care is all about. And it's going to be a long process. It's going to be more like 10 or 15, maybe 25 years to get us up and running with universal health care. All this long-term existing problems that people have.
Right.
Because they're going to continue. But the point is to get involved on your street, in your house, in your neighborhood. If single women need daycare paid for, find the single women that need the daycare.
Right. Inform it, right?
Inform it.
And this is what's going to continue to happen on the Esther Davis Show. She's going to inform you, educate you on processes.
And give you my opinion.
It's an opinion. It's a good opinion.
And
Because she has a lot of wisdom, and I'm telling you, she's directed me in a lot of different steps. And when I start taking those steps, when you walk out wisdom, success happens.
Yes, it does. Because you find people, when you start talking about something, if you tell somebody that my mother had a heart attack, and you make that announcement in the room, and then somebody else is going to say, my mother had a heart attack.
Right.
And before you know it, you're going to have a concern. That's number one. You go from a concern to how do we solve the problem.
Right.
And then you start doing all of the other steps that are necessary. But you can make a difference.
I'm going to ask you live on Facebook. Show me where I need to get involved with that's concerned. On the boards, any board I need to sit on.
Well, like the city of Dallas, I have served on several boards, and they all have a chair. So if there are 15 people that are elected officials for the city of Dallas, all 15 will appoint what we call an appointed official. You have elected officials and you have appointed officials.
Okay.
And they appoint you to, we probably have 20 boards. I interviewed John Riley Price, and I need to interview him again, but there are 12 boards at the county. There's the juvenile department, the jail department, the streets, the da-da-da-da-da. And he has appointees. Everything has a committee. Nothing happens by accident.
Wow.
You know, people say, oh, they finally put that sign up. I'm so happy. No. Let me tell you what happened with that sign. That sign probably had 4 or 5 meetings.
Right.
Because we live in a democracy. We live where we don't have the dictatorship. So what young people need to do is just simply learn how this system is working.
Right.
All right? Then you throw in your computer brain and the technology that you have learned on top of what has already been established.
Right.
Because I tell my grandkids, the people that run this country look like me. Yeah, they're not 25.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's really, really important. So if you look at your mayors, your senators, your legislators, your Congress people, they are all 60, 70, 80 years old, but they use the young mind to get them through the process, which is great. So now what do you have? You got this combination of experience. Can't live without the experience.
That's right.
And then you got the new blood that comes in to push everything along. Which you have to have
that technology and that
technology and the way it used to be.
Right, and also some young minds come and say, well, why are we still doing this when this is quicker?
Yeah.
Just like the guy that went into the tire company and said, why are you still putting white walls on tires? Nobody's buying that. And that's why we... Okay, but Lily, you don't know what white wall tires are. And that's why somebody like you walked in and said, why are you doing that? Nobody wants a white wall tire. Well, that's what we live with. But get involved. The millennials are the brightest, greatest, absolutely the most democratic generation we have, because the rest of us live with restrictions. Wow.
Think about that.
Wow.
So they are able to run between the cultures. That's number one, because they're growing up with them, which I think is great. All right, so they can travel. They learn 3 languages now. So you learn another language so you can get another job when you get tired of this particular job. But you keep your mind moving. This is the greatest rainbow coalition that we have, with all of the cultures being part of the United States. That's what the world is about.
Right. And this is beautiful. I mean, this is something we started with. How much did the election process cost?
How much? Oh gosh, we got all the way over. How much did it cost? And
then also you said another thing, the tiger that got pushed into the corner.
Yes.
And that was everybody, right?
Yes, that's right. That was everybody. The bullies.
The bullies.
The bullies. And there's always a bully. There's always going to be a bully. But Art brought up, don't push people into a corner, because when you do, and we have pushed a race into a corner.
We sure have.
The real problem with immigration, and I'll say this on Facebook, is all of a sudden the white Anglo-Saxon male has discovered he is a minority.
Right.
Seriously.
Right.
Go to a football game.
Right. Right.
Okay. You can see it. Go downtown Dallas. You'll see it. You have people that you don't even know what they are. They're just people. Right. But they're not white.
That's right. That's right.
So, and in the classroom, that's very important. So they're the minority. They're not the majority any longer. And I think we should take care of. Bottom line is that we went from how much did the election process cost all the way over to immigration. Came back. Start talking about some of the history of immigration. Right. Because the railroad was really built by immigrants.
That's right. That's right.
The railroad, because
built by immigrants. Who we're trying to push out now, right?
Yes, exactly.
Woo! Yeah.
So I use my cell phone on my car coming in today, and I'm just elated about the process. It was a very smooth process. This is yesterday's show. Stay tuned. We got lots of excitement for you tonight. Friday night.
Friday nights at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time.
Central Standard Time.
That's right.
Friday night, Central Standard Time.